People with real perspective don't believe money is the scarcest resource in the world. If anything, money may be one of the least scarce. Some argue that time is the real constraint. After all, we all only get 24 hours a day. But time isn't directly tradable. What's truly scarce is your attention. Attention is the cognitive resource you allocate to a task. It's the focus of your mind on one point in the world, and at the same time, the ruthless exclusion of everything else. You only have so much of it. And yet, out of everything you could pay attention to, you chose this. Isn't that the ultimate investment? The highest form of reward, the most luxurious act. Every click you make, every second you linger, every emotional reaction, you can assume it's been carefully modeled and monetized by someone. People call this the attention economy, but since your attention is often captured for free, it's more accurate to call it a hunting ground. If you wanted to quietly ruin someone, one effective way would be to flood them with endless, low-effort, fragmented entertainment until thinking itself feels painful. So yes, many smart people emphasize defending your attention. The usual advice is defensive. Delete apps, turn off notifications, resist temptation, meditate, or if necessary, get diagnosed and medicated. A more proactive approach is to channel attention into productive work. Computer science professor Cal Newport popularized this with books like Deep Work and Slow Productivity, arguing for distraction-free focus and sustainable, high-quality output. All of that is valid, but it mostly focuses on external behavior. Are you sitting at a desk? Is your internet offer? The deeper question is, what is your brain actually doing? If your task is boring, filling out expense forms, or sitting through a useless meeting, what exactly are you supposed to focus on? But if you're debugging code or playing a challenging game, you don't need discipline. Focus happens automatically. Focus is not a posture, not willpower, not even a virtue. Focus is what happens when the task itself demands your attention. The tool we're introducing today is active high cognitive load, a way to consciously use your attention at a higher level. The concept originates from cognitive load theory, proposed by John Swela in 1988. Your working memory, the amount of information you can actively process, is extremely limited, once thought to hold 7 plus or minus 2 chunks. Modern research suggests it's closer to 4. Think of your brain like a computer. Your long-term memory is the hard drive, large and rich, but your working memory is the RAM, small and precious. Cognitive load is simply how much of that RAM a task consumes. There are 3 types. Intrinsic load, the inherent complexity of the task. Extraneous load, unnecessary friction, bad design, noise, poor teaching. Germane load, the useful effort you invest to build mental models. Good systems reduce extraneous load, so your brain can focus on what matters. But when total load is too low, something else happens. Your brain's default mode network takes over, leading to mind-wandering, rumination, and anxiety. True focus doesn't come from suppressing distraction. It comes from crowding it out with meaningful complexity. When you are deeply focused, interruptions feel painful. Why? Because of context switching. High cognitive load tasks require building a mental model, like loading a complex 3D environment. This preload phase pulls concepts, variables, and logic from long-term memory into working memory. Once loaded, you enter flow, high efficiency, full immersion. But if someone interrupts you, what's for lunch? It's like pulling the plug on RAM. You must unload everything, respond, then rebuild the entire structure from scratch. Time loss, errors introduced. This is why programmers hate interruptions, and why deep work can't be multitasked. Not every task needs this level of focus. Routine work can be batched or done alongside other activities. But model building, exploratory work, that's where attention becomes valuable. The real premium skill is the ability to maintain complex mental context. Here's the key insight. You can actively turn any task into a high cognitive load task. Modern AI systems have a pro mode, a deeper reasoning mode that consumes more compute, runs longer chains of thought, and produces better results. Active high cognitive load is your brain's pro mode. Take something trivial, like watching a short video. You could just watch and scroll, or you could analyze it. Why is it engaging? Where's the hook? What's the pacing? The emotional trigger? The narrative structure? How does the algorithm amplify it? What does the comment section reveal? One is passive consumption. The other is reverse engineering. The difference isn't the task, it's the mode of thinking. Passive reading, even of Immanuel Kant, can still be shallow, but active thinking, even about cat videos, can be deep. Active high cognitive load means turning the world itself into a problem to solve. Traveling? Don't just take photos. Ask why architecture looks the way it does. Reading news? Question the source, incentives, and framing. In meetings, analyze timing, subtext, and hidden agendas. Watching shows? Challenge the writing choices. Add constraints. Ask questions. Force explanations. Turn seeing into model building. Once you build this habit, you'll notice something strange. The world is full of cracks, tiny openings into deeper understanding. You might ask, isn't this exhausting? Actually, high cognitive load is where happiness comes from. A famous 2010 study by Matthew Killingsworth and Daniel Gilbrow, published in Science, found that people spend 46.9% of their waking time mind-wandering, and here's the key. Mind-wandering makes people unhappy, not the other way around. When your mind drifts, your happiness drops, regardless of what you're doing. Why? Because low cognitive load activates the DMN, which tends toward rumination and anxiety. But when you're fully engaged in a challenging task, self-awareness fades, time disappears, and you enter flow. Cognitive idling creates internal friction. That's why a tiring day of meaningful work can feel satisfying, while a day of endless scrolling leaves you empty. Living in the moment isn't just philosophy, it's data. Here's the uncomfortable part. Low cognitive load should worry you. A 2025 report by Financial Times highlighted a decade-long study showing that younger generations are shifting in troubling ways. Lower conscientiousness, higher neuroticism, lower agreeableness, and extroversion. In simple terms, less resilient, more fragile, harder to collaborate. One likely cause? A world that makes sustained attention harder. Personality is accumulated habit. If your brain is trained on 15-second feedback loops, constant interruptions, and shallow stimuli, your neural circuits adapt. You lose patience. You lose long-term focus. You lose the ability to handle complexity. Low conscientiousness and high neuroticism. That's a dangerous combination. Many people today can't think continuously for 30 minutes, and in a world optimized to keep you distracted, the ability to enter active high cognitive load becomes a rare and powerful advantage, an alpha edge. That's it for today's content. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.